Hello and welcome to this Ghosts of Tabor tips video. I will go through the tips quite quickly to make this video short because I value your time. So without further ado, let's get started with the first tip. I'm a coffee roaster, so the first thing I show you is how to make coffee. Open the coffee maker, then the bag. Pour the oddly white coffee powder into the coffee maker, close the lid, put the cup underneath it, and start the machine. If you love coffee, subscribe and hit the like button. Tip 2. Instead of always taking off your bag when looting a room, just put it on the ground. Every time you use your bag, you hear the zipper noise, which could give away your location. Additionally, now you have one hand freed up to hold your weapon in case somebody sneaks up on you. Tip 3. As soon as you have leveled Spectre up to level 2, get yourself a Cobra sight. Cobra sights are way better than the horrible green ones you have access to in the beginning. Tip 4. In the market, you can fully kit out a gun by taking it off the rack and adding attachments, then scan it and you can buy it the way you have configured it. Tip 5. If you like the gun you have configured, then favorite it in the computer. This gives you the ability to buy it straight from your trade room without having to leave for the market. I suggest you do this for some essential items like helmets, rigs, pouches and backpacks because you will need those a lot. Now just choose the item you want to buy in the trade room computer under the favorites tab. Tip 6. If you quickly want to know how much cash you have, go to this terminal in the trade room, click on favorites and it shows up at the bottom of the screen. Tip 7. To sell an item, put it on the selling conveyor belt, then choose to whom you want to sell it. Tip 8. If you put an item you did not want to sell on the conveyor belt, don't panic. Simply hit this circular arrow key and it will be put back into your trade computer. Tip 9. If you ever completely run out of space in your bunker, you can use the same method to store items in the computer. Simply put it on the conveyor belt and return it. Now it is stashed in your trade computer until you need it. Tip 10. To turn in an item to a trader. Simply put the item on the conveyor belt and click on Turn In. Now select the trader. This is how you fulfill the collection trader missions. Tip 11. Before going into a real raid, do a couple of training raids to learn the gunplay and movement of the game. I have a whole video on how to use the training raids in different ways to get better, so check that out if you want to. Tip 12. To add a friend to your squad, simply walk over to the preparation terminal and click on Contacts. Now enter their name and they should pop up. The game is cross-platform, so you can play with PC players or people on the Quest 2. A squad can have a maximum of 3 players in it. Tip 13. You can place leftover bullets from your loader back into ammo boxes by inserting them in the loader and hitting the load button. This will save you some ammo and money in the future. Tip 14. If you ever accidentally eject a bullet from your gun, by cocking it again, you can pick it up and put it back into your magazine. Tip 15. If you want to have both a laser and a torch on your gun, but you want to use them independently, put the laser on the gun, then turn it on by using the trigger of your front hand. After that, put the torch on the weapon. Now you can have either the laser or the torch on. Tip 16. When you find an ammo box in a raid, open it first and check how much ammo is actually in it. Sometimes there is barely anything in the box and you would waste a lot of backpack real estate for very little loot. Tip 17. You can breach a door open by hitting it with the butt of your gun stock. This can give you an advantage by surprising your enemy. Tip 18. To use the NRS or health stim, simply pop it into the circular thing on your arm. Do not pop the lid off by using the trigger, since it will not heal you that way. Just leave it in there until the lid comes off and you'll be healed for 40 HP. Tip 19. There is always a free NRS in the med bay ready for you. Go grab it just before you enter a raid and do not go into any other room in your bunker after that, since it will disappear. Tip 20. To turn your compass on, use your wrist tablet. You can also use it to see your trader progress by swiping over to the next page. This tablet, however, will get changed in a coming update. So this might be outdated depending on when you watch this video. Tip 21. When you put an item on a shelf in your bunker and it turns red, It will disappear once you leave the game or go into a raid, so make sure to place your gear correctly. Tip 22. If ever you have an item disappearing when trying to hang it on the wall, do not panic. Go into the middle of your bunker between the two poles and it should spawn back there. I am quite happy I was actually able to reproduce this bug for this video. Tip 23. If you want to crouch a lot in game, but don't want to do it in real life, turn on virtual crouch. Go into the height calibration menu and select seated mode. Now you can press in your left stick to crouch. This also is much faster than doing it yourself and it will not make you as tired. Tip 24. In order to lose your fear of other players and choke every time you run into one, go into Missile Silo alone for 5 times in a row. You will run into a bunch of NPCs and players that surprise you and you'll have to react quickly. But it will show you that you can handle other players. Tip 25. Before exiting the game, always make sure you have everything stored properly. Everything you have on you will get deleted and you will not be able to recover it. I hope these 25 tips will help you in your career in Ghosts of Tabor. If you got any value out of these tips, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. It would really help out a lot. If you have tips to share or questions, just leave them below and I'll try to answer them. Until next time, fellow Taborians.